From deadlines to lifelines. I was just speaking to a friend of mine, a coaching client as well, and we were talking about collaborating together, and I said, in our companies, we don't have deadlines, we have lifelines. He laughed because it's different, but really, in my view, that ought to be a standard way for businesses to operate, for companies to operate. We feel so terrible if we don't meet a deadline, typically. What happens at the deadline point? Well, death happens. In fact, so many projects in the world that are being run are run like a death march. Everyone kind of knows that it's not going anywhere, but they're working on it because they're getting paid. And at the end, they all meet the deadline and the project gets delivered and it's completely useless. I bet my bottom dollar, have worked at least on one of these projects, and perhaps you're working on one of them right now. Imagine if a project is the one where at the end of it you get a lifeline, not a deadline. In fact, the project goes live. The project actually only starts at the point where it's completed. It actually now gains its own life. And that life grows, so the results of the project grow and develop and evolve. Wouldn't that be a healthy way to look at projects and to work towards lifelines as opposed to deadlines, and to work towards a stage where the project is most exciting when it's finished? Really exciting, because it really only then starts. Up until that point, it is being built out, and the reason why we built out projects is because we want to support life. We want to give more and more lifelines to the evolving nature of life across the board. I started managing all my companies that way a while back, but now I'm talking about it explicitly. And the more I talk about it explicitly, more becomes my own embodied reality, and more it becomes the new normal, with everyone that I work with. We work on creating more and more lifelines and growing that life through all the projects and all the companies that we run. What this means in practice also is that the notion of that something has to be done on a given date or else we've failed is complete bullshit. This never worked. In fact, project managers, especially good ones, will say that no project plan ever got delivered to the plan. They know themselves that any plan is effectively bullshit. In fact, Mike Tyson puts it as, everyone has a plan until I punch them in the face. And he's right, of course. So instead of planning to meet a deadline, we actually blissfully create a lifeline. And when the project is finished, life starts growing in true sense. This means, in practice, that you are never stressing out over what you're doing, but you're continuously more and more excited about the creation that you're making, and you are putting your mind, heart and soul into ensuring that it's as blissfully living as possible for its entire lifespan. So if you want to go from deadlines to lifelines, reach out to me and let's talk about Fresh Mind program, or check it out on freshmind.life.